In this video, I'll show you the best study method. The best study method that you can use to ace all your exams coming up this school year. What's up guys, it's me again, I'm Taj. I'm back with another video. If you're new, I'm Taj. I post helpful videos every single Sundays and that one mindset series on Thursdays. So subscribe now to become your best self. I realize that many students are using an ineffective study method, and that's passive reading. They reread and reread and reread and reread and rereading their notes, and they call it studying, thinking that the material is sticking, thinking that they're actually studying and they're actually learning and they're actually understanding. But passive reading is tricking you into thinking that you're understanding, but really and truly you're just becoming more familiar with the material. You're not understanding it, you're not knowing it, you're just becoming more familiar with the material as you reread it and reread it. And that's why you spend so much time doing passive reading, rereading your notes, and you still cannot ace your exams. And it takes time. Passive reading takes time. That's why you spend so much time studying and you still can't ace your exams because you're doing the wrong method, passive reading. I want to introduce to you an unconventional method. It's called quiz and recall. Cal Newport introduced this method, and I use this method throughout my years, and I have aced my exams. He interviewed straight A students from Ivy League colleges such as Princeton, Dartmouth, Harvard, and they have confessed that they use the quiz and recall method. The quiz and recall method is simply reviewing your notes. Looking away and trying to recall what you have just reviewed. Say for example, you're looking at your notes and you see the boy is running up the hill. You look away and you try to recall the boy is running up the hill. And this is effective because when you go in the exam room and you're trying to recall what you have studied in your book, you're not going to have the book there to reread and reread, and you're not going to have the book there to look into. You're going to have to recall from your head in the exam room what you have studied the night before, or what you have studied some days before. So the quiz and recall method is actually putting that into practice, so that when you're actually in the exam room, it's so much easier to recall the method, because you've spent hours doing so in your room or in the library. And with the quiz and recall method comes the method of teaching. The best way for a concept to stick in your head, to solidify, to be concrete in your head, is that when you have learned a new method, you reteach it. If you don't have somebody to sit down and to teach it to, you can just imagine that you're a professor in your room and you're speaking to an imaginary class. It may be your furniture, it may be your mirror. And when you have learned a new concept, reteach it out loud, act like you're a professor, and that's the best way for the material to stick. Doing the quiz and recall method by looking in your notes, looking away, and try to recall what you have just read, and teaching what you have studied out loud in your room or in front of the mirror. That's it guys. I want you to implement this study method. When you just start, it's going to be hard, but I want you to implement this study method, which is quicker, so that you can ace all your exams coming up this semester. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm coming with more study videos. I'm coming with more study videos, focusing on school for this time around. So thanks guys for watching. Share this video with a friend so they can learn the best study method and ace their exams also. Thanks guys, goodbye.
The funny thing about life is I forget it when I write this. Getting favors from a high kick, tell you what Sprite did. Never mind, that's frightening. Then I strike like lightning, alright then I like them. Won't say it again. Saying I'm famous, we flying to Vegas again. And they say that they pay for